Amali, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello, sorry, we can hear you. I think we should start with the session and the students will keep on joining in as we go.
Ji, just give me 2 minutes, Ji. Bilkul, I'm going to
Yes, sure.
set up. Ji, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum, everyone. Welcome to the online session of Mentoring Young Lawyers program. Today, the mentor with us is Ali Hassan. He is currently working in Access Law. Previously, has worked in two other law firms as well, and is a former judicial clerk of the Supreme Court of Pakistan. And in today's session, he will be guiding you on clerkships and internships, and will be primarily focusing on the 2024 cohort of clerkships. So over to you, Ali.
Ji, thank you so much. I think if we can like have questions in the start, or people can just introduce themselves, why they want to, and which year are they from, for me to gauge कि अभी ये graduate हो चुके हैं या ये graduate नहीं हुए हैं.
Yes, we can do that. I would encourage all the students to type in their year and details which Ali has just asked you. You can write it in the chat box that's there in the meeting. Primarily, Ali, the students who had registered for the session are those who have just started their law career or in second or third semester of their law courses.
ठीक है जी, ठीक है. So I think clerkship is a wonderful opportunity for all those who want to ultimately practice. So there are students who want to practice in litigation, and there are students who want to practice on the transactional side. So उसमें जो difference है मैं आपको पहले बता देता हूँ. Transactional side deals with corporate commercial matters which are out of court मामलात जितने भी होते हैं, which includes drafting of contracts, which includes mergers and acquisitions, और इस तरह की सारी चीजें. So for that, I think the clerkship is a very different route because it has no nexus with the transactional side of the practice. So for all those clerkship who want to do clerkship, they should be aiming at a career in litigation side or dispute resolution. So litigation के साथ साथ dispute resolution में arbitration भी आती है, इसमें आपके mediation वाली side भी है, that is also pertaining to dispute resolution. So all those who want a career in dispute resolution, be it litigation, be it arbitration, mediation, or ADR, so those students or those graduates should look at clerkship roles. All those who want to look at transactional roles, I would per se not discourage them, but I would want them to be very clear about the fact कि वो ultimately क्या करना चाहते हैं, and if they can draw an axis between transactional practice and how they think the clerkship will help that, then they should aim at that. And I think clerkship की इस साल की application भी पिछली applications की तरह है. There are 4 questions and you have 750 words to answer each question. So research करते हुए हम लोगों को बहुत ज्यादा केयरफुल रहना चाहिए कि एक तो रिसर्च वो है जो recent case law है, then we should try to trace back that principle कि कहाँ से वो derive हो रहा है, which is the first case जिसने वो principle set किया था. And if there is a judgment that you have to disagree with between 85 to 99, then you have to pick a judgment and you have to read up all the law and all the case law, not just in Pakistan, but also in all common law countries. And I would advise that क्योंकि आप जितनी research इकट्ठी करेंगे हो सकता है कि this takes you to 5,000 words. Then you have to be very careful कि आपका analysis और आपकी जितनी भी वो रिसर्च है, आपने जो क्रॉस jurisdictions, क्रॉस बॉर्डर्स की हुई है, that you have to summarize it and bring it within 750 words. And in that, you have to be very clear. So short sentences, crisp sentences, they show confidence, they show clarity, they show that you have, like, you were able to summarize a whole concept into one sentence of 30 words. That shows to a judge who is going to read your, who's ultimately going to read your application when they interview you, वो उनको बहुत ज्यादा ये चीज क्लियर हो जाती है कि ये कंफ्यूज नहीं है अपने कॉन्सेप्ट्स में. सो आई वुड एडवाइज कि जो एप्लीकेशन को इस साल आप लेके चलें, पर्सनल स्टेटमेंट है, तो पर्सनल स्टेटमेंट को लिखने के दो तरीके हैं. देयर इज द स्टोरी मॉडल विच इज सिमिलर टू द मॉडल जो आप यूएस यूनिवर्सिटीज के लिए जब अप्लाई करते हैं आप लिखते हैं. एंड देन देयर इज वन मॉडल जो कि यूके यूनिवर्सिटीज के लिए आप लिखते हैं, विच हैज टू डू विद हाउ you think the clerkship or how you think the program will help you. So in my application, when I wrote my application 2 years back, I went with the UCAS UK model. So I had, like, all my personal statement was why the law, why I did law, and what during my 5 years at LUMS, what I did, and how my internships and how my practice has helped me to think that the clerkship will help me and benefit me in the future. So you have to, in your personal statement, again in 750 words, you have to clearly define how you think the clerkship will help you. And then I think there is another thing that with the questions, you have to be again very clear about all those 4 questions. चारों सवालों में आपको डिफरेंट लॉज के बारे में, किसी में जजमेंट का जिक्र है, किसी में उससे आपने डिसएग्री करना है, और इसी तरह से बाकी भी जो सवाल हैं. आई कैन नॉट कॉमेंट ऑन द एप्लीकेशन अलॉट, बट I can help you with the research methodology. Try and find articles at first, then read up the law, which is a statute, and then from the statute, try to find the case law and try to make a nexus between that case law from, and find case law from other jurisdictions and try to apply that to your situation. And do that all within 750 words. Do not cross the word limit, and save all the knowledge that you have for your interview if and when you qualify, so that when you're asked with questions, you're faced with hypothetical situations, so that you can back your stance. If you're posed with a question that you have to move your stance so that you know all the research that you've done, let's suppose X happens, then you should know the answer to that as well. So try and maintain your stance within that. और जब भी आपसे सवाल पूछा जाएगा एंड दे वुड वांट यू टू मूव अवे फ्रॉम योर पोजीशन, यू शुड नो कि अच्छा इस पोजीशन में ये होना चाहिए और ये यहाँ क्यों एप्लीकेबल नहीं है, एंड सो दैट यू शुड बी एबल टू डिस्टिंग्विश योर स्टांस विद अ क्वेश्चन दैट इज आस्क्ड ऑफ यू. आई थिंक ये एक बेसिक सा ओवरव्यू है. इसके अलावा अगर कोई सवाल है किसी के तो पूछ लें. आप अगर चैट बॉक्स में सवाल ले लें तो मुझे बता दें.
Hi everyone, if anyone has a question, please take put in your question right now, either in the chat box or raise your hand so that Eddie can address them. We are going to follow the 10-minute rule, 10-second rule. If nobody answers a question within the 10 seconds, Ali will move on. I guess Ali, nobody
अच्छा
has
जी,
a question
चलो
currently.
जी. आई थिंक क्लर्कशिप के बारे में यही है कि जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन उसकी कुछ इस तरह से है. आई विल मूव टू द जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन. उसमें you're assigned to one of the judges, and before even that there is an orientation, and in the orientation what you're told is that you have to have, like, you have to deal with not just the assignments that your judge gives you, but there are the staff of the judge who are like private secretaries, and so basically your chamber. You will have to work alongside them, to be able to assist the judge. And that is very important, that you have a good relationship with your private secretaries and your qasid, naib qasid, and ultimately with your judge as well. And there is, like, huge confidentiality clause in your job description, which shows that whatever is being told to you, whatever assignment is being given to you have to keep it very very confidential. And there are, because judgments कुछ इस तरह की होती हैं कि if it's a reserved matter, if it's a reserved judgment, then you cannot talk about it to either someone in media or to someone like a fellow clerk even. So you cannot talk to them as well. तो ये इसकी जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन का एक है, यू आर असाइंड इनिशियली फॉर अ ईयर, और उस एक साल के अंदर आपने अपना ये काम करना होता है, एंड इट इज सब्जेक्ट टू एक्सटेंशन. बट अगेन आई वुड एडवाइज के एक्सटेंशन लेते हुए whoever is like doing clerkship, तो असाइन जब एक्सटेंशन ले रहे हैं वो अपनी असाइनमेंट में, तो दे शुड बी वेरी ऑफ द फैक्ट कि ये आपकी प्रैक्टिस में एक ब्रेक डालेगा. So you should consider that if you want to do like 2 years के लिए clerkship करेंगे, and then you will have to start your practice again from the scratch. So this is something that one should consider before applying for an extension, or before considering an extension. If the judge asks you to extend it, even then you should be very, I think, careful and clear in your head that if that is what you want to do for 2 years. एप्लीकेशन प्रोसेस बहुत क्लियर है. वन शुड कंप्लाई विद द डेडलाइन. अपनी जो आपको पता है कि 25 तारीख का डेडलाइन है, दैट यू शुड गैदर ऑल योर डॉक्यूमेंट्स, your letter of recommendations, your CNIC, everything that is listed. You should attach it in an email and send it. And if they also require you to send it by post, then you should be able to do that before, like, on that day on which it is like expected to, the deadline day. Then after like within a month there is a deadline for there is shortlisting, और shortlisting के बाद interview होता है. That interview is primarily on कि आपने जो अपनी application में भरा है, और like those are just 750 words, but all the research that is at the back end, you should know that. You should try to have your stance very clear. क्योंकि अक्सर यही होता है कि वकील को या जजेस आपसे ये सवाल पूछते हैं, they want you to move away from your position. So you should be able to think on your feet. You should be able to hold your ground. और यही चीजें वो देख रहे होते हैं इंटरव्यू में आपसे कि क्या आप ये कर पाते हैं in a pressure situation when you are posed and put under pressure. और इंटरव्यू के बाद then there is a final list, and this whole of this process I think will be completed by mid of October. तो उसके बाद आपको इस्लामाबाद मूव करना होता है. All those who are not from Islamabad do should also consider कि इस्लामाबाद में मूव करना उनके लिए आसान है, मुश्किल है, will they be able to manage it. क्योंकि you have to manage your own, like, आपको खुद ही अपने इंतजामात करने होते हैं रहने के लिए, वहां से ट्रैवल के, एंड सो यू शुड बी कंसिडरिंग दैट एज वेल. एट द टाइम ऑफ अप्लाइंग भी आपको सोचना पड़ता है कि अच्छा हम किस तरह से मैनेज करेंगे, कहाँ पे रहेंगे, विल वी बी लिविंग इन अ हॉस्टल, विल बी रेंट एन अपार्टमेंट विद फेलो क्लार्क्स जो भी सिलेक्ट होके आएंगे. सो लोग इस तरह से करते हैं. देन देर इज अनदर क्लार्कशिप जो कि वाहिद हाईकोर्ट है पाकिस्तान में जो करा रहा है, दैट इज इस्लामाबाद हाईकोर्ट. उनकी एप्लीकेशन की डेडलाइन आई थिंक इज द 19th और द 20th. तो उसका भी प्रोसेस कुछ इसी तरह का है. अगेन सवालों के जवाब इसी तरह से देने हैं, रिसर्च इसी तरह से करनी है. एंड अगेन फॉर ऑल दोज मूविंग टू इस्लामाबाद, उनको भी ये सारी चीजें जहन में रखनी है. कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी वाली चीजें इस्लामाबाद हाई कोर्ट के लिए भी बिल्कुल इसी तरह से एज इज अप्लाई करती हैं. जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन भी सिमिलर है और रोल भी सिमिलर है. I think that is it from my end. If anyone has any particular questions, I'm willing to answer. But I think monologue में मेरे पास इतना ही था.
Okay, so any students wanted to know when's the ideal time they should start preparing for their clerkship, and when should they be applying it for, like, let's say if they graduate in May 2024, so should it be they applying for the 2024 clerkship, 2025, or 2026 clerkship? Like, what's
I
the
think
ideal timeline for them?
ये ideal, it can vary from student to student और उसके जिंदगी में क्या मकासद हैं. So अगर एक student बिल्कुल right out of law school निकला है, they should definitely apply because they're fresh and they've not started their practice. So they should apply and take their chances. It's not not I would not say it's they would be discouraged over someone who has practiced a lot. क्योंकि बहुत सारे मेरे कोहॉर्ट में भी ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स, ऐसे ग्रेजुएट्स आए थे right out of law school. So one should apply right out of law school and get done with their clerkship and then start practice from scratch, as compared to taking 1 year for practice or 2 years for practice, then going for clerkship and then coming back to the practice again. So the break that they get from the clerkship should not be like after a lot of years of practice, क्योंकि उसके बाद अगर ultimately LLM भी करना चाहते हैं तो फिर एक ब्रेक लेंगे, फिर प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, फिर LLM के लिए जाएंगे, या फिर क्लर्कशिप करेंगे, फिर LLM करेंगे, फिर दो ब्रेक्स आ जाएंगी. तो वो इस तरह से प्लान कर ले कि राइट आफ्टर देयर लाइक दे ग्रेजुएट दे शुड गो फॉर द क्लर्कशिप, then they should get done with their LLM and then start their practice. But in my case, I practiced for a year and a half, then went for my clerkship. Now I'm back at practice, and ultimately in a year or two, I would go for my LLM. It would not matter a lot क्योंकि हर किसी के लिए different होता है. But a lot of breaks in practice do keep you like at a disadvantage against your peers. If you compare कि आप किस जगह पे खड़े हैं, तो practicing में I would not consider myself कि it's been 3 years since I've been practicing. I would call कि मुझे 2 साल हुए हैं practice करते हुए. The clerkship year I would not count in practice.
So Ali, what about students who haven't had the opportunity to have an internship during their academic period and are interested in going for clerkship? Will be there at a disadvantage, or there are some ways they can be at par with the students who have done internships?
I don't think कि internships is a prerequisite, or else they would have stated on the application that one should have completed 2, 3, 4 internships if they're applying for. I think they see you at like on the same plane as any other student who has done 2, 3 internships, but it would definitely add to the experience. So for anyone who has done an internship and for someone who has not, the one who has would have more to speak about their experience during their time at the internship or what they learned. So they would have a better chance during the interview. शायद शॉर्टलिस्ट वो दोनों कैंडिडेट्स हो जाएं ऑन एप्लीकेशन पे, या ये भी हो सकता है कि अगर किसी की इंटर्नशिप्स हैं और दूसरे किसी के पास आरएशिप है या उसने एस्प्रॉज लिखा हुआ है, तो जिसने एस्प्रॉज लिखा हुआ है उसकी एक थरो रिसर्च है, एज लाइक उसने 4 महीने एक प्रोजेक्ट पे काम किया हुआ है, तो वो वहां पे अपने आप को कंपनसेट कर लेगा. आई थिंक ही और शी कैन ब्रिंग themselves on par with someone who has done 2 internships अगर किसी ने कोई पेपर पब्लिश किया हुआ है. सो आई थिंक बहुत ज्यादा चीजें होती हैं जो किसी को डिस्टिंग्विश या डिफरेंशिएट करती हैं. कोई सेट मैट्रिक नहीं है कि इंटर्नशिप्स होना जरूरी है या आरए होना जरूरी है या इस तरह की चीजें. वन इज सीन only on their application and what they have to say about that.
We have a question from Iskan Abu
जी
Bakr on the chat. I think we should
जी
address them,
जी.
and then I have another question from a student. So then I'll ask that one.
So Abu Bakr is asking about internships and their advantages and how can one find out where to intern and how many internships should be. I think that once you start your law course, यानी तीसरा साल आपका जब कंप्लीट हो जाए तो उसके बाद आपको इंटर्नशिप्स ढूंढनी चाहिए. लॉ स्कूल इज वेरी हेल्पफुल इन दैट मैटर. यू कैन रीच आउट टू द सीएसओ, यू कैन रीच आउट टू लॉ स्कूल के जो मैनेजर हैं इमरान साहब, एंड यू कैन ऑल्सो कीप एन आई आउट. लिंक्डइन पे आप जरूर देखें जो भी फर्म्स हैं, you should reach out to them. You should reach out to all your seniors LinkedIn पे कि if they're working at, let's suppose I'm working at Axis, if Abu Bakr sends me a message on LinkedIn before his summer break starts, I will be able to tell him कि क्या timeline होती है apply करने की. So usually keep an eye out on all these websites. Email करें आप उनके जो भी contact person है, HR department है. So that is how you find internships. But also CSO and Imran Saab, I think they are very helpful. And if not, then you should always seek out for your seniors, जो LinkedIn पे आपको आसानी से मिल जाते हैं. जी आशा, और कोई सवाल?
Yes, some of the students wanted to know how they can. You talked about the SPROS project, so how they can, like, when they can start working on the SPROS project. What should be the key pointers they should be looking at, and how can they make their SPROS project at par with someone who has done an internship?
आई थिंक एस्प्रॉज का बहुत ज्यादा ये है कि आपके सेमेस्टर में कौन से इंस्ट्रक्टर्स जो हैं वो विलिंग हैं टू टेक एन एस्पॉज, and then you tie up with 2 to 3 other people. You make a proposal, you submit it to the instructor. Let's suppose if you want to do on constitutional law, you'll reach out to Dr. Sadaf or Miss Marwa and all those people who you think specialize in that area. And then you'll propose something. And if they think that your proposal is unique and it's something that one should look on, वो आपको कहेंगे कि इसको थोड़ा सा अमेंड कर लें, ये एरिया नहीं हम ये देख लेते हैं, या इस तरह नहीं उस तरह देख लेते हैं. यू शुड हैव लाइक सुपरवाइजर के साथ आपकी मीटिंग्स जो हैं फ्रॉम बिफोर इवन द सेमेस्टर स्टार्ट्स. आप अपना एक ग्रुप बना के आप एस्प्रॉच के सुपरवाइजर पहले फाइनलाइज कर लें, फिर उनसे बात कर लें, एंड देन दैट इज फ्रॉम वेयर दे गाइड यू, एंड यू एंड अप पब्लिशिंग लेट्स सपोज अ वेरी थरो पेपर जिसमें आपने एक ऐसा एरिया ऑफ लॉ जो है वो जिस पे एक्सपाउंड किया जो पहले नहीं हुआ हुआ. सो यू हैव डन एनालिसिस, यू कम टू अ कंक्लूजन जो पहले कभी नहीं है. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज समथिंग जो जो बहुत जो इंटर्नशिप्स पे आप करेंगे वो रन ऑफ द मिल चीजें. यू विल डू रिसर्च, यू विल डू प्रैक्टिकल वर्क, बट you will not be able to, but there are very few chances that you will be able to do like make a whole new point of law. Like आपने एक नई चीज निकाली है कोई कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लॉ की इस तरह से इंटरप्रिटेशन हो सकती है, वो आप इंटर्नशिप पे बहुत कम चांस है कि यू विल बी एबल टू डू दैट इन 4 months. But with the help of your supervisor, you can do that during your S project. And I think that is more value than an internship.
Okay, thank you, Ali. And we have another question from Abu Bakr. He wants to know which timeline should the students be following and for internship applications, and ideally how many internships should they be covering during their BA LLB program?
I think 2 to 3 internships during like from their third year before they graduate. So it's roughly 2 summers, and 2 summers में उनको 3 internships कर लेनी चाहिए. 1 or 2 at law firms, और कोई एक आधी इन हाउस या किसी थिंक टैंक के साथ या किसी रिसर्च बॉडी के साथ जैसे RSIL है. और टाइमलाइन का ये है कि उनकी वेबसाइट्स वगैरह आप फर्म्स की फॉलो करना शुरू करें कि अच्छा कब आती है एप्लीकेशन. कुछ की फेब और मार्च में खुल जाती है, एंड फेब मार्च फॉर द समर फॉर द प्रीसीड द फॉलोइंग समर. सो और कुछ की ऐसे ही है कि यू ईमेल देम, यू रीच आउट टू देम, you reach out to your seniors and then they arrange an interview for you. तो इसी तरीके से RSIL की वेबसाइट भी आप देखें कि how and when they open their internship opportunities. इसी तरह से there are also NGOs, वो भी आप देख सकते हैं. So there are a lot of like internships being offered from transactional side to policy side to practice. So one should try and get a taste of all three so that they know by the time they graduate कि हमने ultimately क्या करना है.
Thank you, Ali. I think that was enough very brief information, and more getting more into the clerkship and internship. Do you think what students can do if they fail to either get an internship or clerkship? Like obviously in both there are many applicants from which the firms will be selecting a handful of candidates. So what about those who are not able to land any such opportunity?
So I think internships though is not something that they cannot secure. I think there are a lot of firms, and if a student is willing, then they do land up in internships. कोई ऐसा कोई इशू नहीं होता. क्लर्कशिप आई थिंक वो एक ऐसी चीज है कि आप कह सकते हैं कि 2 दफा अप्लाई किया, 3 दफा अप्लाई किया, नहीं हुई. So one should then continue with their practice और ultimate goal जो उनका है, they should try to improve in that area. क्योंकि clerkship again, as I said, is not something one can do indefinitely. वो उसका मकसद तो यही है ना कि आपको एक बेंच की साइड का आइडिया हो जाए कि हाउ जजेस थिंक, हाउ दे ऑपरेट, एंड it does help your applications if you want to go abroad for your LLM. लेकिन internships करने से आपको firms के culture का idea हो जाता है. If you want to join, if you have interned at a firm, then that firm can later take you as an associate. बहुत likely है कि if you have interned at X firm, then that X firm will when you graduate and you reach out to them, and if you work well, they would be very much likely to take you as an associate. तो ये है कि दे शुड कंटिन्यू टू डू ट्रांजैक्शनल साइड पे या पॉलिसी साइड पे या प्रैक्टिस साइड पे wherever they want to work. They should keep doing that.
Okay. We also have a question from Ali Abbas in the chat box. I think we should address that now.
Ji. So they're asking what are some of the key skills and qualities that law clerks should develop. I think they should develop on their like research skills, and they should be very clear on their drafting skills as well. So if you can draft what you've researched very like thorough research in a very compact way, then that is something which can meet the needs of a judge who has not all the time in the world to read through 10 files, 12 files, 15, 20. So if you can read through a file and produce a one pager and summarize all the important things in a one pager, then I think it's a very important skill that it shows clarity in your mind, it shows clarity on the facts, on law, and all the issues that you've read in the files.
Thank you, Ali. If anyone has any other question to ask from Ali, otherwise we can end the session. I don't think so. Anyone has any question? We'll be following a 10-second rule. If you don't pop your question within the 10 seconds, we'll end the session. Okay, so thank you, Ali, for such a wonderful session on clerkships
Thank
and
you, Ji.
internships. I'm sure the students who have attended the session will benefit from your experience, and thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everyone, for attending the session. Wish you a good day.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you,
Thank
Ji. Allah
you.
Hafiz.
Nafis.